Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to a brand new episode of New Music Friday. It's very late, I'm well aware, but your boy hit a few speed bumps this week. I ran into a few minor inconveniences that sort of knocked everything back a few days. The podcast is going to be a little late this week. The Thomas Rhett review is still in the works. This video is obviously much later than I would prefer. It's hectic, but I've got a little window of time here, so I just want to hop on and cover the notable releases from the last 2 weeks. So that does not include songs that came out on April 8th. I'll be saving those for the next New Music Friday, which will be coming on time next week. I'm just doing that for consistency's sake, so it's easier to get everything back in order. Normally, I would like to go more in depth, but simply so I can ensure this goes up in any timely fashion at all. I'm going to keep my thoughts pretty condensed this episode. Thankfully, there wasn't a tsunami of releases from monstrously famous artists like the last 2 episodes. As always, be sure to let me know what you thought of these releases in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoy. If you're new, maybe consider subscribing for more country music content. And with that, we are going to jump in with the thumbs down category. Songs I disapprove of, I didn't like, didn't vibe with, and kicking us off is the CEO, the owner of the thumbs down category, Jason Aldean, and his new one, God Made Airplanes.
That's why God made airplanes.
Sometimes I feel like I talk about Jason Aldean too often, but the problem is the guy is constantly releasing music. It feels like every week I see a post like, Jason Aldean has announced his new song blah 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 is coming out on this day. They just don't stop coming, but they also haven't gotten any better. God Saved Airplanes is another mundane, lackluster Jason Aldean song featuring the same sound, the same structure, the same lyrical ideas. He's either leaving town pissed off or coming back to town pissed off. But you know, I guess this one's different. Normally he rides off into the sunset with his middle finger at the window, but this time he acknowledges that the same old just isn't gonna cut it. He's really pissed off. So that's why God made airplanes, so Jason Aldean could send an even harsher message from a metal box in the sky. It's just not good. My main criticism of Jason's output is it all feels like a carbon copy of everything he's put out in the last 5 years, but maybe I should just be content in the averageness, in the mediocreness of his music, because what happens when he actually does do something a little different? Well, you wind up with the next thumbs down on my list, and an even bigger thumbs down than the first one. His collaboration with Brantley Gilbert, Rolex on a Redneck.
It can put a Rolex on a redneck.
This song is trying so hard to be tough and intimidating, but the song is just so unbearable that it's impossible to take these guys seriously. I would have loved to see the energy in the studio while this song was being created. Like, did Jason and Brantley really think they had something with this one? Were they sitting there like, yep, this right there, this is the one. We're gonna let them know who runs this town. Were they getting like hyped up when they heard the playback? Like, how did that go down? Because I can tell you what it looked like from my end. I was sitting in math class and had to intentionally focus on not audibly laughing. It's a weird dance, EDM, pop, trap, country rock beat that neither of the two guys sound great on, if I'm being honest. And the lyrics are so... what's the word I'm even looking for? What am I even supposed to make of these lyrics? The whole premise of the song doesn't even work. It's Brantley and Jason talking about how the dirty, gritty country boy lifestyle is rewarding, but not financially. It can't buy a house in Malibu, but it can put a Rolex on a redneck. Is a Rolex not, like, super expensive? Isn't the point of this song that this lifestyle can't provide those materialistic things? I don't know. I don't have the time to vent all my confusion surrounding this song, so I'm just going to move on to the latest pre-release from the upcoming Cole Swindell album, which I think is actually out now at the time of this recording, Stereotype.
Come pick me up in your truck,
First thing I want to clarify is this song from Cole Swindell is a significantly lighter thumbs down than the other 2 songs I've mentioned so far. Yes, it's still a thumbs down, but not nearly to the degree of the others. To its credit, I do think this song has its moments. I actually really like the beginning of the chorus when it cuts to this cool little cadence, the whole, come pick me up in your truck, I wanna drive. And I do think the hook of this song features some witty wordplay. She's the oh no, there she goes turning up my stereotype. I think that's a pretty nifty line, but outside of that, the song just feels a little lifeless. It just doesn't feel like a lot of time went into it from the production side. The instrumental is your pretty standard 2017 country clap track, booming wall of sound in the chorus that just all feels a little bleh. But what doesn't help is the vocals from Cole. I just think they're pretty dead. There just doesn't seem to be the passion necessary to give this song any kind of energy, and the end result is this really mid-sounding, vanilla, flat pop country song, and outside of the hook, I also don't think the lyrics are saying much of anything either. The thumbs down category is actually a little beefier than normal this episode, but drawing it to a close is the new Kieth Urban song, Night Falls. I guess I'm just confused by this release, which granted is no different from how I've felt about a lot of Kieth Urban songs lately, and I'll admit this one is bearable. It's not that I actively dislike it, it's just such a non-starter. Also, as far as genre goes, you guys know I'm not one to harp on it. I don't care what type of music artists choose to make, and I'm also a pretty vocal fan of numerous genres, but when I hear Night Falls, and then see it's labeled as country, it just doesn't make any sense at all. There is nothing remotely country about this song. That's not a dig to the song, it's not that it has to be country to be good, but just from a common sense standpoint, when did anyone think a synthesizer-based pop beat with heavily automated harmonies was country music? Like, I'm not saying I'm offended by it, but it's just weird. Like, nobody would make a song featuring a banjo and harmonica and call it gangster rap. I wouldn't film a documentary about an athlete's rise from poverty and categorize it as a rom-com. So, why is Night Falls labeled as country? I don't know, the song's alright, I'm more just confused. At last, we are able to transition into the decent category, songs I am not huge on, but still think are worth your time. I'd still recommend you give them a try, make up your own mind about them. I think they're decent. I've only got one this week, and it's the new one from Jake Owen, Up There, Down Here.
She's a little up there, down here.
By the looks of things, I think it's reasonable to assume a new record from Jake Owen could be on the way. He put out Fishing on a River a few weeks ago. I enjoyed it quite a bit and still go back to it quite frequently, but this new one, Up There, Down Here, just didn't hit as hard for me. I think lyrically it's pretty droning, your stereotypical checklist boyfriend country song, with Jake praising his girl by comparing her perfections to his flaws, but for me it just runs a little thin. The hook of the song especially feels like there was hardly a thought put into it. I'm a little down here, cold beer, she's a little up there, down here. It just doesn't cut it for me, although I do think it's got a nice flip-flop beat that's fun to bob along to. Production-wise, I think it still sounds great. Jake once again going for this incredibly dense, guitar-oriented sound that just meshes really well with his vocals. Lyrically, though, is where this thing falters for me, but again, I still think it's decent. And now we can move on to the thumbs up category. Songs I really like, I enjoy, songs I would give a thumbs up, and the first one I want to highlight is the new collaboration between Triston Marez and Jenna Paulette, Once in a Blue Moon. I was really looking forward to this track from the moment it was announced, and man did it pull through. It's a story of two lovers that have broken up, but neither are truly ready to move on. Once in a blue moon, they both get the irresistible urge to get back together, and as they say in the song, it looks like the moon is blue again. So not only lyrically do I think it's really well orchestrated, but sonically I think there's a lot to like. Vocally, I think the two of them sound great together. I love the way they trade lines and verses throughout the song. Jenna's voice is much more delicate and wistful, but Triston contrasts that with his very demanding yet bright tone. Production-wise, I love the driving beat, the guitar licks, and the transitions. I think this song has mainstream hit written all over it. It seems like a song radio would cling to. I mean, if Carrie Underwood released this song with another big name, it would be the only song you hear for the next 5 months. So I'm just hoping Triston and Jenna can get that same appreciation for what I think is a great song. Then lastly for today's video, it's the latest teaser from the upcoming Zach Bryan album, Highway Boys.
I wanna ride like Kate's in the way by.
Man, I freaking love this song. Unlike From Austin, which was much more Americana, Highway Boys is a much more traditional, straight down the pipe, old school country song. It feels very much like something you get on Charles Wesley Godwin's Seneca record. It's got an awesome swinging rhythm that the fiddle takes great advantage of. It really just dances across the instrumental. Just like From Austin, I think Zach really nails it vocally. Now that he's in a studio environment and he doesn't have to do everything in one take while playing multiple instruments, it's been cool to see the limits his vocals can reach. It's just like a new weapon he's revealed. The delivery is just as passionate as his older stuff, but now he hits the melodies with a lot more accuracy. In general, just very improved, which is always satisfying to see. Lyrically, it's about, as you'd guess, the life of a highway boy, traveling to their next gig at the Ryman, the conflicting emotions that come with traveling, and trying to maintain grounded, and, you know, it's just as poetic as you'd expect from Zach, and overall, just a fantastic song. Anyways, that is all I've got for you guys today. I wasn't able to get to all the music from these last 2 weeks. I know Brett Young did a duet with Ashley Cook, but that song originally came out a while ago anyways. Colby Acuff put out a new song I thought was pretty good, but today I just focused on the most notable releases because, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm mainly just focused on getting this posted, getting the train back on the tracks, getting all my ducks in a row. I've still got the Thomas Red album to review as well as some other videos. I'm dying to find time to finish. But yeah, as always, be sure to let me know in the comments what you thought of these songs. Links to my Discord and podcast are down below in the description. Be sure to hit those up. I'll be making a new Instagram soon, so I'll announce when that happens. And yeah, until next time, I hope y'all have a great day.